Last week, we started our realistic self-portrait and started to draw our head, eyes, nose, and mouth. This week, we're going to continue to draw and add the ears, neck, shoulder, hair, and eyebrows. So we'll talk about the facial proportions of those parts. And then our goal today is to observe. Observing is to look at something very carefully and noticing everything, including the details. So after you're done drawing the rest of your self-portrait, I'm going to have you guys look in the mirror very carefully, notice things about your face, and then add those as details. Those might be things like your earrings, things like the details of your hair texture, beauty marks or moles, or freckles, or glasses, or anything else you would like to add to your self-portrait to make it look like you. I will first talk about facial proportions using our workbook, which you're welcome to do if you have one. And then I'll talk about how to add those things to your self-portrait. Last week, we talked about the facial proportions for the eyes, nose, mouth. And now we're going to talk about where the hair starts, where the eyebrows go, and where the neck and shoulders go. First, let's talk about where the hair starts. You might think that the hair starts at the top of your head, but then it's going to look like you don't have enough hair because your forehead is going to be huge. So your hair actually starts about halfway from where your eyes are to where the top of your head is. So it's this line right here. So if you don't have any bangs, that means that if you don't have any hair that is coming down at the front of your head, then this is where you're going to start drawing your hair. So for example, if you have really short hair, and then you connect about to where the eyes are with a diagonal line. So that's where the hair starts to grow. If you have short hair that's maybe close to being shaved, that's all you really have to do. But if you have some texture to your hair, you could add some. Or if you have longer hair, you could draw it all the way. If you have a ponytail, maybe your hair goes up like this. So you could draw the textures going up. And then draw a ponytail up here. My hair's starting to look crazy because there's a lot of things going on. Also, if you have bangs, that's hair coming down, then you're going to draw the shape of that hair and then add some texture. So that's if you have bangs. I'm going to erase that part so that I can show you the eyebrows next. So the eyebrows go about in between halfway where the eyes are and where the hair starts. So it's going to be about here. And an eyebrow is not just a line, it has a shape. So look in the mirror and draw the shape of your eyebrows. And then your ears start about where the eyes are. And then go about where the bottom of your nose is. Same on this side. Starts where that line for the eye is and goes to about where the bottom of the nose is. And then your neck is going to be pretty close to where the ear ends. A lot of people make their neck too small and it makes yourself look like a bobblehead. So just remember that your neck is going to be pretty close to connecting to the bottom of your ears. So that is the rest of our facial proportions. And now if you would like to, if you have a workbook, you can practice that on this blank one. So I'll do this one real quick. Maybe I'll do a different hairstyle for this. I'm going to try some curly hair. If you had some curly or wavy hair, instead of doing straight line textures, you would curve your lines. So now this would look like it has kind of a curly wavy hair. The ear starts here. And the neck is already drawn on this, but it's pretty close to where the ear ends. So now let's apply what we just learned from our facial proportions to our actual final draft self-portrait. So here, We started with the hair in the first one, but I actually like to start with the ears. I think that makes it a little bit easier to follow. But whichever is fine. You can do it in whatever order. But the ears start right here, where that guideline for the eyes are. And then it ends about at the bottom of the nose. Same on the other side. And then next, I think I'm gonna do the neck. Remember that the neck connects pretty close to where the ear ends. So it's not gonna be teeny tiny like this. It's gonna be pretty close to where the ear ends. And it comes straight down for a while. And here's a little trick. If you want to make yourself look more manly, then you'll want to make your neck look thicker. If you want to make yourself look girly, then you might want to make your neck a little bit thinner. That's just a difference between boys and girls a lot of times, and that's something you can try in your self-portrait if you want to. So your neck comes down straight, and then it curves, and then goes straight out. So here is the neck, and then make sure you put a shirt on your self-portrait. If you're doing a t-shirt, you would draw the beginning of the shirt about where you draw that curve. If you draw it higher, it's gonna look like you're wearing a turtleneck, which is okay if you are gonna draw yourself with a turtleneck, but if you want a regular shirt, it goes under that curve. And if you wanna put something else on instead of a t-shirt, like a dress or a dress shirt, that's okay too. So now going to the hair. We're going to draw the guideline halfway between the eyes, top of the head. So this is about halfway. And then I'm going to draw that diagonal line to show that there's hair on the side too. If you forget to do those two lines, it's gonna look like you're missing some hair in this area. So now that's where my hair starts. And I'm actually going to make this into a self-portrait where it looks like Mrs. Poole. So I have bangs. That means I have hair in the front of my face. So I'm going to look at the mirror and look at where the top of my bang starts. And then draw the shape of my bangs. You're not gonna draw each hair because that's gonna just take forever. So that's the shape of my bangs. And then I can draw some texture to show that there's some hair there. I have a little bit of hair coming in the front of my ponytail. And then I will draw some texture in the hair to show that my hair is going up into a ponytail. I'll draw my ponytail band. And then for ponytails, sometimes you can't see it from the front in the mirror. So you can use your imagination and try and draw the shape of your ponytail if you want to. Or you can try and be more exact, and maybe I might just see the top hump of my ponytail. And then maybe add some texture. Then maybe I'll show my ponytail coming down a little bit. And then the last part that I'm going to add is the eyebrows. The eyebrows are about halfway from the eyes to where the hair starts. You can draw a guideline if you want. And then draw the shape of your eyebrows. It's not a line, there's a shape. Once you're all finished with the rest of your facial proportions, then look in the mirror again and add some details. Details are little things that you might notice in your face. So maybe you have some freckles. I actually have some freckles, so maybe I'll add that. I have a mole. Mole is like a dot on your face. I have a few more moles. And then there's some patterns inside of the ear. I'm going to draw a really simple version here, but if you want to look in the mirror and try and draw as exact as possible, that is wonderful. Also, if you have earrings, this might be a good time to add those. If you have glasses, then you can add glasses as well. So if you are going to do glasses, you would just draw the shape of your glasses around your eyes. Look at the shape that connects the lenses. And then from the edge of those glasses, it's going to go behind the ears. It's going to connect to the top of the ears. So I'm not actually wearing glasses, so I'm going to erase that. But you can add all of those things. Now when you're finished with that, you can lightly erase your guidelines. Those are those straight lines that we added to see if we can draw with correct facial proportion. If you would rather erase those lines later after we do the Sharpie marker, that's okay too. You can decide whether you want to erase it or not. So we're going to stop here for now, and we're not going to trace or color yet. We'll do that for the next week project. So when you're finished, make sure to take a picture of the drawing part of your realistic self-portrait and upload it to Artsonia. So again, for your self-portrait, we're still doing just pencil, but draw the ears, neck, shoulders, hair, and eyebrows. Look at yourself in the mirror and observe very carefully. Add the details that you find to your drawing. And then please upload it to the realistic self-portrait section on Artsonia. If you can't do Artsonia, please send it to me through Canvas. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great week.